Hello and welcome. My name's Sherry. I'm coming to you from Devon, that's on the south coast of the UK. Well, I live on the coast, nearly on the coast, where I live with my husband and our two Labradors, Monty and Archie. Thank you ever so much if you're coming back to watch my podcast for the second time. I didn't think anyone would even watch the first one. Thank you so much for all your lovely, lovely comments, the messages that you left, and the personal messages that people sent me. It was just so lovely. Thank you. So I've kind of bucked up the courage to do another one, which will probably be the same kind of ramble as the first one was. So thank you. So this is a podcast really about the things I like to do, which is knitting, sewing, embroidery, general crafting really, and things that I'd just like to share with you. So the first thing I'd like to show is some socks, some of which I've been knitting for quite some time because I'm quite a slow knitter. I actually posted a picture of some of these on Instagram the other day because I definitely have second sock syndrome, because I have started 1, 2, 3 pairs of socks, and after finishing one I just thought, oh, I've got to try that one, and cast on a different one. And I don't know why I didn't think of this before. People have just said, well, cast on straight away, or some very clever person casts on both, which is logical because then your other one is already cast on, ready to go, but I didn't think of that. So, but I'm not casting anything on until I've got these finished. So this is my first one. I haven't got a fancy sock block. I need to get one of those, but I haven't even washed or blocked them yet anyway. These are, I think this is the Hermione's Everyday Sock, I think. I'll put all the links to all of these. I'm a bit of a scatterbrain, so I should probably forget these things halfway through. But I did it with I always start from the top, and then I've given it a flap, heel flap and gusset. And I've really enjoyed this wool. Actually, I've just ordered some more because I love the texture of it. I really thought I'd quite like to do some mitts in that. And this is Regia Tweed. I don't know what the colour is, but I've ordered it as well in this colour too. I thought I'd make some more maybe for my husband or one of my sons in that colour, which I ordered the other day actually from Love Crochet. Ordered it Friday evening, sent out Saturday morning, received it first thing Monday, which I thought was really, really good service actually. I should be using those again. So I've cast on the second one. Well, I'm down to the going down to the toe now. So that's looking forward to wearing those. The lovely thing about this wool as well is it covers up all of my mistakes, because I see all these beautifully knitted socks and no, that's not me. I've got quite a few mistakes in those. And the air is a little bit blue sometimes when I'm knitting. This one, which I started just ages ago, this actually started off as a shawl, but it wasn't working, and I frogged it and started again as socks. This sock pattern, by the way, if anyone is new to sock knitting, is from Winwick Mum. I think it is Winwyck Mum. she does the most amazing tutorial. It's called For Sock Along. If you go onto her website, I'll put the link on my blog. And she literally takes you through it, masses and masses of pictures through the whole thing. It's like having someone sitting next to you. It's amazing. So if you've never knitted socks and you want to have a go, I really recommend that. She's amazing. And that one, on my second one now, I'm just about to do the, I've just finished the flaps, I'm just about to turn the heel. That's lovely. That wool is from Burrow and Saw. It's Miss Mongoose on Instagram. And the colours in this are just beautiful. So, second pair. And the third pair, actually I started these on Boxing Day, I think. And I've done a much shorter leg on this one actually. And this was from this is West Yorkshire Spinners. This is Winwick Mum actually, this is one of her patterns. And this is these were candy cane socks, which I'll probably have ready for next Christmas. I can actually get those colours too, which are nice. And this actually came free with the yarn, which was lovely. So I have, now for this one, actually I normally use DPNs, but for this one I did short circulars, which is much, much quicker. I don't know what I prefer yet, because I've just gone back to my other socks now, because I thought I'd finish those first, logical for Sherry. But this seems much quicker for short circular, but except this is a bit too long. I've got a slightly too long actual length of cable. I need to get a slightly shorter one. So that's my 3 pairs of socks in my little project bag. That's one of the ones that I've made. Lavender. Can't wait for spring. So the next thing I want to show you is a shawl that I've been doing, which in my first podcast, which was so long ago, back in September. I will be doing them more regularly. I'm going to hopefully do one every 2 to 3 weeks, I think. It'll also keep me knitting to show you things. This is in my lovely project bag, which was sent to me by Caroline Love to Sew. This is such a beautiful bag. She uses the most gorgeous fabrics. This is lovely. I like the drawstring actually, but she does some lovely zip bags as well. It's such a good size too. Thank you, Caroline. Love this bag, and I've had so many comments as well whenever I take it out. Clever lady. And in here is my Laula shawl, which I'm managing to undo. This is a cowl. The reason I don't take part in cowls is because I'm just so slow. I never get them finished. This I think ran last August to October. Still not finished it, but that's because I was just so busy around Christmas time with orders and things like that. I just didn't get a chance. But it's a beautiful pattern, leaf pattern. You can see them. And for this project, she actually, so this is Emma from Potter and Bloom. Did I say that? And she recommended, I think it's cotton flowers, this changing yarn, but I think there was a bit of a problem with some people getting the yarn in time, so I decided to go for this, which is the Sheeps's Whirl. This is macaroon colourway. Now I'm not too keen on this blue, so I started on the inside, pulling it from the inside. It's just such a mess. Don't do that, people. Go from the outside, be sensible. I could have just wound the blue off, but I love this actually. So I went for this because I thought I would have the yarn in time. I ordered it from a company actually who I'm not going to name, but they give you points. And they were offering free delivery. So I thought, great, we were going away on holiday. So I ordered it on the Friday and I got it the following Friday. It arrived at the hotel literally just as we were leaving, which I think is appalling. So I'm not going to say who they are, but I would never ever shop with them again. And if you compare that to Love Crochet, which was a great service. And also I think when you've made your mind up you want to do something, it's just lovely to get the yarn quickly. But I'm pleased with this because I love the way it so gradually changes colour. I didn't even realise it was changing colour till I was about here. Goes into the pink. That's my least favourite bit because I think it looks a bit muddy. And then onto the lovely green, like an appley green. And then it goes into a lovely soft lavender, lilac, should I say. This was actually a gift for someone at Christmas, so I actually had to wrap it up. It was, who is it? Gosling and Plum. Gave some of her gifts as a under construction, which I loved, so I did the same thing. So this is for you, lovely Amy, and you will have it soon. I will try and get that finished next week. And the last knitting thing that I wanted to show you, that's not knitting, that's crochet, the last yarny thing, is my cardigan, which I have been doing for a long, long time. So long, they don't even make the yarn anymore. So this was Stylecraft Highlights double knit with mohair. Now actually, the reason this has taken me so long, there's no point me showing you the colour because you can't get it anymore, is because I used to knit lots of jumpers, etc. when I was younger, and then as I said before, I stopped for some reason. If you can see how it knits up, it's pretty vibrant. When I was in the shop, I was in there with my mum, and we kept taking, it was a really small yarn shop, and we kept taking it to the door, and she was sort of frowning at me and watching me. So in the end, I kind of panic bought this colour. But it's a little bit, in your face. But I like it. I think with jeans, it's quite nice. And I said to her, I haven't knitted for quite some time, and the pattern, which again I'll put a link to because I looked at it, I couldn't find it. It was knit in this, and I said to her, "Will I be okay with that? I haven't knit for a while." Yeah, that's lovely. It's lovely yarn to knit with. It's really not. It's horrible for it if you haven't knitted for a while. It sticks. And maybe it's me, but I think that's why it's taken me so long. But I'm done. I've done all of it. And oh, there's a hole. And all I've got to do now is this band here, which I am hating doing. And then that will be finished, blocked, and that will be finished to wear, which I'm looking forward to. Beams proudly. Quite proud of myself for doing that actually. Looks a bit small, but I'm sure once it's blocked it'll fit me. Making things too small is something I do, which I'll go into later. And the other thing, which I am, very excited about, is for Christmas I asked for a yarn dyeing kit, and which I got. Father Christmas was very good to me, and he bought me a yarn dyeing kit with a starter kit, acid dyes, which is lovely. But one thing that I've wanted to do for a long time, and I have had a bit of a play with, is using nature, so using natural things around us, cones, avocado skins, etc., to do some dyeing of yarn and some linen, and perhaps cotton, that I could then use in my bags. And using this book, by Rebecca Desnos. And she's also got another one out called Plants and Magic. Just tells you everything you need to know about using stones, flowers, leaves to dye your own yarn and fabric. So that is something that, this is a lovely, lovely book. I couldn't recommend this enough. It's very simple, and she just takes you through the whole process. So watch this space. I don't know what, I've got avocado skins, I've got onion skins, I've got things everywhere at the moment. I've bought the soya milk, I'm ready to go. So that's something I'm really excited about, yarn dyeing, and perhaps using it for fabric, so I could have the yarn and the bags matching, which is very exciting. So moving on to embroidery, quite a few people after the last podcast were asking me quite a few questions about it, and I was just so pleased that a few people have actually said they've started, which I'm so excited about. So I just wanted to show you, just because I tend to rush on and not really think what you actually need to get started. So as I said before, the thing that you don't need much, you need a needle, you need a hoop, you need any fabric you've got, and ideally embroidery thread, but any cotton that you've got, and you can start. So the hoop, you need a hoop. This, I think it might be Anchor. These little wood, you can buy lots of, you can get plastic hoops, you can get all different designs. I like these because they're just really simple and they don't fail me. They don't go loose, which come in all different sizes, depending on what you want to do. And all you have to do with these, literally, I think one like this will probably be a couple of pounds, and the bigger ones maybe three or 4 pounds, not a lot. To be honest with you, you can pick these up as well in charity shops and things like that. And all you need to do, you have two parts to it. This part, you then put your fabric here, and then that goes over the top, and you tighten it, which I'm making a bit of a fist of. You tighten it like that. Give it a little tighten, and then you need to just, at that point, just pull your fabric so that it's, without pulling it out, Sherry, so that it's taut. And keep tightening it, so this should be like a drum. You can do it without a hoop. I wouldn't recommend it because it keeps your stitches nice and you don't get your fabric puckering. And actually that's a bee that I did, a white honey bee, I think it's called, that I did. It was actually for something that Jules, lovely Jules, So Sweet Violet, did last year. Be Happy, I think it was called, so that's what I did for that. But actually I think that's just lovely left in the hoop and hang up, which I think I'm probably going to do. So all you'd have to do for that then is cut that around the outside, tighten it. I'll show you how to do that another time. That's lovely. Nice idea in the hoop. That's another one that I did actually. That was one of my earliest robins, which, I don't know if that's focusing, which I love. I might do some more of that, because that way, this I haven't filled completely with fabric, with stitches. I've just randomly done some little seed stitches. But that's something you do need to have, I would recommend, because it will make a difference to your actual stitches and keeping them even. And then you need some needles. I haven't got my glasses on, so I'm squinting away, but you just need a pack of embroidery needles. I think that says 85p. I'll keep you going for a while. And your fabric. Lots of little things that you can have to to go with it, a thimble. That's a lovely one from Merchant and Mills. I got lots of bits and pieces from there at Christmas. Saves lots of swear words when you've got that on the end of your finger and you're embroidering. And then your thread, as I said last time, I tend to use DMC thread. Each one comes with its own little code, the number, shade. And I use these because when you're doing lots of sewing and you're pulling the thread through, if you buy a cheaper thread, it can stick and it starts to get a bit rough. These don't do that, and I just think these are around £1, £1.20. You usually see lots of them hanging up on a carousel, Anchor or DMC. And as I said before, they come in, I can't find the end of it and I haven't got my glasses on, but you get 6 little threads to it, and I usually use 2 for this one. For the wings, I just used 1 thread, but otherwise I think for everything else I use 2 threads. So you separate it, which I'll show you next time when I've got my glasses on. And then just wind it on I use a peg to keep mine, just because it's inexpensive and you can write the number so you know what to reorder or to get if you run out of your favourite colour. You need a little bag to keep it in, because just to keep your cottons clean, because they can get dusty. Magnifying glass. I have a magnifying glass because my eyesight's hopeless, and that's an old one actually. It used to belong to my husband's grandfather, I believe. It's lovely. And obviously must have scissors. Some more Merchant and Mills scissors. A really nice sharp pair of scissors so that you can snip quite close. I've got quite a collection of scissors in here actually. People buy me scissors because they know I collect them. Stalk. And the other thing, someone asked me the other day actually, and a couple of people had asked me on other posts, is what do I actually use for my embroidery to get a to put the pattern of what I'm going to do. Start off really simple. Start off with a really simple flower or something like that, or the outline of a bird. And I use this Frixion pen. Frixion. Actually, it's Pilot Frixion. They come in packs like this. I think you can get them individually. I think 4 are around something like £6 or £7. They last ages. And you just draw your design on and stitch over it, but it disappears at the touch of an iron, so it's magic. You don't need to worry about making sure you cover the lines or anything like that. So if you want to do, I do a lot of text, and this works really well. I'll explain in another one about how you look after them actually, because you obviously don't iron onto the embroidery because you would flatten all of your stitches. You have to do that into a towel. Perhaps I'll show that next time. But I would love if someone else took up embroidery. Makes me so happy. Stitches, how do you know what to do? You can get Encyclopedia of Stitches. This one has got just about, and it's got projects in this one as well, not that I've ever done them to be honest. Just about every stitch known to man or woman and how to do them. But if I'm honest, I find them quite difficult to understand, those diagrams, and I'm far better off Google, find a stitch that you like, and let's be honest, Google it and watch it on YouTube. It's much better. And that doesn't mean anything to me. That's just gobbledygook, but it does give you an idea of what stitches to use. I had to stop my washing machine. A very unprofessional podcaster. It was spinning away, which I'm sure you probably heard. I do apologise for that. The other thing that I collect, I love old books. I also got lots of old embroidery books as well, which is just lovely. I just love to have them and to look through them. I probably would never stitch anything from them, to be honest, but so lovely. Cross stitch is something else. Again, lots of stitches that mean nothing to me at all. Don't understand what these mean at all. No, don't understand that. But you get lots of inspiration and lots of, because I tend to do a lot of birds and flowers, I don't tend to use a huge range of stitches, to be honest, because it's stem stitch, French knots, split stitch. I don't tend to use a huge array of stitches, but there are so many different types of embroidery, from this type of thing to this type of thing. So this was a book that somebody bought me, Nancy Nicholson, and this is folk embroidery, and this might be your thing. This might be the thing that you enjoy more, this type of thing, rather than trying to reproduce something that can be a little bit. That's pretty. Ooh, just notice that, that's nice. This kind of thing. So that's lovely. And as I mentioned on my last podcast, Caroline Zug, who does like pastoral scenes. So there's all different styles of embroidery. Find the one that you like most of all. I suppose I'm just subject driven, because I always like to embroider something, flowers or birds. That's just me. But so the stitches kind of have to follow. I don't know if you can actually see this, some more little birds. I did. That's a robin and a wren. Is that focusing? Our garden friends. And on the back, eat, knit, sleep, repeat. Now that, for example, is what I used split stitch for the writing, and lovely Liberty print. And because I do like actually doing text a lot, this one, which is for the Harry Potter fans, Mischief Managed, for which I used, that was chain stitch and split stitch, and I solemnly swear that I'm up to no good, which first time round I spelt solemnly wrong, so more swear words again. Literally had to start again. It's not funny at all. So if you do an embroidery, tell me. I'd love to know if you've taken up some embroidery or had a go. It's so simple. It's easy. Knitting a sock is brain surgery in comparison to embroidery. So have a go. I'd love you to have a go. Just had to make a quick cup of tea. Just wanted to show you a few things that I'm planning to sew. I bought some beautiful Liberty print silk. It's silk actually. In their sale. It was about a year ago now, maybe more. And I literally can't cut into it. I've got it out a couple of times to sew. I lost my courage and put it back again because I just couldn't bring myself to cut into it. But I have decided I'm going to use it because that's ridiculous, Sherry, isn't it? So I think I'm going to do this top So massive bird suddenly appeared in the garden, which is New Look K, I think that's 8183 without glasses. Yeah, so I think I'm going to do that little top, because I wear, I mean I've got this on today, but I wear sleeveless tops pretty much all year round. Through winter I'm always hot, so I thought, use that. I've just about got enough. I think I've got about a metre and a quarter here. Isn't that lovely? I was going up to London and they sent me an email just saying don't forget our sale is on, or was it? Yeah, I just happened to be there, so it would have been rude not to go. And the other thing that I want to make is another one of these, this one. So this is 1590. This is a Vogue pattern, isn't it? Simplicity. We're going to have another go at this. Why are you going to make the same thing again, Sherry? The reason why is because this is my first blouse that I made. Beautiful fabric. I love the neckline of that, and it's got a lovely little peplum back. And I spent ages on this, all French seams, hand stitched. Doesn't fit me. I did what I always do, and I don't know, I just measure wrong. That waist is not going around me at the moment. So take two. So if there's anyone who is an actual size 12, that's very nice. Maybe I'll fit into it one day. Amy of Little Tailoress was asking the other day whether or not she wanted to start getting back into her sewing patterns, and she was asking, would people be interested in PDF? Yes, because so this is cut out now. So I'm just going to have to wing it really with that. But most of my patterns I actually trace off now onto, what's it called, lining paper. I have a big roll of lining paper that I trace all my patterns onto. So actually, yeah, PDF suits me very well, thank you, Amy. So that's something else I'm going to be doing. And the other thing I have been doing, again, recently, is sewing some undies. So this book, Secrets of Lingerie, The Secrets of Sewing Lingerie. I've got my glasses on, but you can see who that's by. I will put links to everything I've said today, especially things I haven't remembered, on my blog. This book is just gorgeous. I've made those. And just the things that you can make in here. So if I can find what I'm looking for. Some of which, look at that. How beautiful is that? Good underwear, really pretty underwear. It's so expensive and it's lovely to sew it. Much of it is hand sewing. I've had a couple of fails, but I'm getting there now. So that's something else I want to do. And the other thing, I haven't got Luna. If you watched my first podcast, you would have seen Limbless Luna and Eyeless Luna. I haven't got her to show you. I finished her, but I'll try and get her back to show you. What I'm on to doing now, she looked very lovely when she was finished, is how to sew little felt animals, which was a gift to me. And if you are aware of Betty's Stitches, maybe it's Betty's underscore Stitches, and Archie Underdog, love that account, then that Instagram account, it's lovely. This is the kind of, that inspired me, and I'd like to have a go at this little guy. So there's so many in here that you can make actually. That's the bear, which I'm a bit fond of. Reminds me of my little teddy bear, nice little girl. You can do squirrels. dressing up again. Doll reminds me of dressing up dolls. So I'm going to have a go at those. And a couple of people asked me last time, what did I use? What felt do I use? So I use a mixture, a wool felt mix. Not the pure wool felt because it's too thick, and the normal cheaper felt tears, and it's not very, I don't find that very good. So I tend to use this, which is Corinne Lapierre. And this is what I actually bought for, why did I buy this colour kit? I can't remember what I bought this colour kit for, but this is really more Furry Creatures, that one's called. Oh, that one's called Vintage. That one's called Furry Creatures, so perfect for Furry Creatures. And also, this is from Cloudcraft, which is where all this came from actually. Although I think you can get that on Amazon. And this is another one, and this is a Woodland Creatures kit. Again, lots and lots of felt. So this is a wool felt mix. Let me see it on the back. And it's nice and easy to use. So I'm very excited about that. So that's all of my makes, things I'm planning and things I've made. I just wanted to show you quickly before I go some of my books I got for Christmas, because I don't always read everything I've got straight away. I just like having them. I'm a bit of a book nerd really. I've been reading a lot of the British Library crime classics. This is the last one I read, which actually I found quite gruesome, if I'm honest. But that was a good book. It was good. I wouldn't. And then I've now got this one. I actually got 4 of these for Christmas. This is the one I'm reading at the moment. Murder of a Lady, Murder of a Lady. A Scottish murder. I've just literally started. I read the first chapter of that. Really enjoying that. This amazing book, which I was so thrilled to get. By Stephen Moss, which is also got a lovely cover, lovely cloth cover, and I finished January so far. That is a lovely little book. I was so pleased to get that. There's lots of lovely illustrations in it as well. But I've got a thing about robins. I do just have an affinity with them. I love them. And there's one out in my garden at the moment actually. It's new to the garden, so I'm hoping it's going to come back. I got another, I love collecting these lovely old books on plants, flowers, wildflowers. I got that. I've got quite a few lovely second-hand bookstores around here actually. I'm really pleased with that one. And although it's not Christmas anymore, this book, The Christmas Chronicles, you've got to have this book. It's amazing. It takes you actually, it's called Christmas Chronicles. It takes you from November right through to the end of January, I believe. Haven't got there yet. And it's it's amazing. I've cooked probably maybe 5 or 6 things from it, but the prose is just incredible, and I just could not. We've got 2 now because there was a squabble, and we have 2 copies in the house. That's amazing. I think you can get it at Tesco now for something like £10 something, which is an absolute steal. And it's the kind of thing, it's got folklore in it, it's got why we've got the Christmas tree, and oh, it's lovely. I recommend that book, lovely. And I do love Nigel Slater a bit. And the last thing is my son. My oldest son bought me a subscription to Selvage, which he knows me well, or somebody knows me well, I told him, but that's my recent reading. So, sorry if I've rambled. I hope you've enjoyed it. I will try and do another podcast in about 3 weeks' time with some more things. Hopefully I've got some things finished that I've started and that I've planned. And thank you for watching. And my tea, I must show you this. This is my, found this and I just thought this has to be for Sherry. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. Born Unicorn. If you can see. I keep all my fruit teas in. So, this is my penguin mug, which is saying out all year round. Don't know who it's by. Can't remember. Got an orange and cranberry tea. Anyway, thank you for watching. See you again soon. Forgot to say, if you're interested in following me on Instagram and seeing what I'm doing, and you would love to come say hello, which I would love, on Instagram I'm Sherry_Iris. My blog is www.sherryiris.com, and my Etsy store is Sherry Iris Design, where I sell my embroidered project bags. Very unprofessional podcaster.